Welcome to our third and final composting project of the season. But this one has the tastiest name. If you keep watching, you'll learn more about lasagna gardening. We wanted to expand our garden for next season, and this composting method is the ticket. So keep watching to learn how to turn your unused lawn into layers that mimic nature's soil building techniques. This method is also referred to as no-dig gardening or sheet composting. As often is the case, there is some controversy over who should get the credit. Some of it goes to Ruth Stout, an American woman who was apparently impatient waiting on the plowman in the 1940s and later became known as the No-Dig Duchess. But Japanese gardener Masanobu Fukuoka also described the process in his book One Straw Revolution in 1975. His other contributions included the reinvention of the clay seed balls that have become part of guerrilla gardening culture today. Both visionary gardeners lived to a ripe old age in their mid-90s. So obviously that's the true result of making your own lasagna garden, right? Let's go with that. Congrats, we found the secret to long life. We begin with a base layer of cardboard on the bottom of the bed, which will break down very slowly as it smothers weeds and soaks up moisture. If you have a good eye, you may notice that we have planted some young cherry trees along the far side. All your base belongs to us. We happened to find a bunch of old video games while cleaning out our new home, so we decided to create a gamer corner in the garden. Normally you would want to avoid glossier cardboards, but sometimes you just need to know that Leisure Suit Larry and the Jedis are out there supporting your fruits and vegetables. The next layer should be a thick layer of brown compostable materials. This means items like twigs, small branches, fallen leaves, or straw. These help to provide drainage. In our case, we were fortunate enough to find a bale in the bushes behind our yard. At one time, it was someone's target practice, but now, the bush bale provideth our brown layers. Then give it a bit of watering before we move on to the next layer. Next up is a layer of well-rotted manure. We are lucky enough to have a herd of bison as neighbors, and they donated their droppings to our project. And my father was kind enough to drop it off with the tractor. Thanks, Dad! If you need to switch things up from your foraging workout, check out our fun exercise video. You'll find that spreading manure will work up a sweat. Do your best to lift with your leg muscles and keep your arms in close to your body. It's not always easy, but you want to protect your back. Fun fact, Charles and I used to both teach the Transferring, Lifting, and Repositioning, or TLR courses. But we encourage you to do what we say and not necessarily as you see here. We tried our best, but our technique may be a bit rusty. Although I do have my Master Gardener certification, I cannot claim to be a horticultural expert. We found some lime when cleaning out the garage, and based on my education, I would normally advise caution when dealing with soil amendments. You would also want to test your soil before amending it, but hey, we haven't quite built our soil yet, so... Well, we decided to experiment and add a portion to our lasagna gardening, as fall is the best time for it so that it can be absorbed and adjust. Lime is used to raise the pH level of the soil, making it more alkaline while adding calcium and magnesium. It improves soil texture, may increase vegetable and flower production, and supports healthy soil bacteria. However, in general, we would want a neutral soil, so you don't want to add amendments without a reason. If you have more experience with lime, please share in the comments. We also added a few kitchen scraps and coffee grounds to this layer as well. For those who've composted before, you may notice that we are alternating layers of what are normally termed browns and greens. If you aren't sure of what that means, browns are high carbon items that provide roughage such as fall leaves and twigs, straw, sawdust, mulch, wood ash from your fireplace, dryer lint, or shredded newspaper and junk mail, avoiding those glossy materials. Greens are high nitrogen items, and you want these layers to be thinner, about a quarter of the size of your brown layers. This category includes vegetable scraps, garden trimmings, grass clippings that haven't been exposed to chemicals, fresh leaves or plant materials, composted rotted manure from a herbivore, hair or fur, coffee grounds and paper filters, tea leaves and tea bags, or vermicompost. Check out our previous video. With winter around the corner, we gave our lasagna garden a final cozy layer of browns to tuck it in for the season. A final watering, and that's a wrap. Keep adding layers as you like. When you are ready to plant in your new garden, add a layer of soil on top and start growing. If you would like a lasagna garden update later to see how things have progressed and what we have learned, let us know in the comments.